Hey there, guys. Hey, thanks for joining me. Rike knives. Or rake knives. God dang it. Take two. Rake knives. Ruike. Yes, they are. And I got a few of these new ones now that are out for 2018. Saw them at the SHOT Show 2018 in January. It's like, hello, it's middle of the summer now. You could come out. Here they are. So I'm pretty excited about that. I mean, it'd be nice if we had like orange or forest green scales or an option on that. And I haven't seen one yet. So don't know if these are only going to be in black or not. But this is the 852. And of course, B for black. P852, 14C 28N Sandvik steel. And we have the ever dangerous Lube Master that just keeps pouring it on. You know what? I took it apart and maybe got a little overzealous putting it back together with a little bit more lube than probably needed to, but it just keeps leaking out. It's like, dude, I didn't put that much in. Any case, so here it is. Nice satin grind on here. A bit of a recurve. Do you think they're Flanagan? Yes, I think it is, me boy. And it is. Oh, that's a hell of a recurve. You see how you can read the Ruike lettering on that edge? Look at the edge. Look at the edge of that. Come on, man. We're talking a budget shooter here. I mean, we're not talking a $500 custom. Look at the edge on that. I mean, it's just about mirrored off, isn't it? And, okay, so, right? Did you look at my review of the SRM, the 1005 and whatever, those that are kind of like the Real Steel Thor T101. Oh my God, we keep bringing them out. I don't have pictures. I don't have any of them on the table. Every time I get any of those, they're gone. But they had an edge like this too, very much mirrored. And then, okay, oh, man, check out the action on this before I get into this crazy stuff. But check out the action on this. Of course, I took it apart, put it back together, but still. Oh. I mean, it's a linerlock Sandvik steel. It's, it's with G10, okay? This is a work knife, like beater class. Maybe a step above beater class, But I mean, steel liners, all this. It's got the lockout, so you can't disengage this liner. And I'm not getting any lock, rock, blade play or anything. I can't remember the last time I ever got any on a rake knife in Real Steel or San Renmu, actually. So pass through, look at that all day long. And look at the heavy jimping there. You got it, it's got you, easy to disengage, roll that baby back, however you want to do it. I mean, you can pretend you have an exclusive, very expensive knife. The way that thing drops. It's hysterical. It really is. Okay, so you got a lanyard hole back here. So right there, tubed right through that back spacer. Okay, hold on. Check through here. Take a look at the back of the... Okay, there's the back of the back spacer, but look here. Yeah, skeletonized liners. And they're not sharp, no sharp edges or anything on here, so the fit and finish is really good. Really like this knife. I wonder if this is... I took a video of Fred Perrin, the French knife maker. He did a collaborative with Spyderco and stuff. I think that knife's still available and all that. But he got behind the case at Ruike, and I filmed him while he introduced Rake, and while he introduced the new rake knives. I've got that video around here somewhere. I might have to publish it if you guys are interested. But it was so cool, him doing that. It's like, hey, can you handle that for me, Fred? Oh, no problem. It was really cool. In any case, so we got this. And, man, here's the deal. Okay, here's the down low on this thing. It's what I understand. somebody made this comment, and then I was trying to figure out if he was just blowing in the wind, because he was going, oh, well, you know that Sanrenmu, they're an OEM as well, and they make the rake knives, and they make the Sanrenmu, and they make real steel, and they make the spider coat knives that are made in China, like the Resilience and stuff, and then they make the Kershaw knives that are made in China, blah, 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 and several other brands, because they're huge, huge manufacturer. And I kind of took that with a grain of salt, didn't really follow that up until I was on my favorite blog, Best Chinese Knives. A-Tech Reviews is his name on YouTube. Okay, so if you say A-Tech Reviews, make a comment, this is the guy, okay? So look at this. May 8th, 2018, he posted this going, OEM factory for Spyderco, Kershaw, Boker Plus, Rake, Real Steel, and others. Okay, but then he was saying Sanrenmu is going to start discontinuing their lower end models. They'll rebrand some of them up into the SRM series, which we've been talking about the SRM series, right? So that's what they're going to do. And they're going, many of the Sanrenmu are already out of stock. And I did a Sanrenmu 913P review. You might want to look. And it was like, I looked around because I thought, well, these guys were asking me to do this review on this knife, but they have their own site and they have 300 of them in stock, but they have their own site, so they must have bought the rest of the stock, because I looked around on Gear, Best, Fast Tech, all that. No, they were all out of stock on that model, and I guess they're running out of stock on a lot of the models because I guess they're moving them. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you have better information than that, let me know, but I don't think my buddy would be saying this if it wasn't true. But he always gets the down low on what's going on with the Chinese. So this is Best Chinese Knives and Steel Reviews. But Best Chinese Knives, he does more in-depth, like articles and stuff. Seems to be more in the know. Steel Reviews is just showing you the new models that are out that you can get on DHgate, AliExpress, etc., and giving you links to them. And of course, those links are affiliate links where they make money by, getting a portion of the commission, whatever, back there. But that's okay. I mean, I've done that before to them. And of course, being a Gear Best affiliate, like they are too, when I put a link out, yes, I get share too. It helps support my channel. So not to put that down, Steel Reviews and Best Chinese Knives are great blogs for finding out what's going on in China with a lot of the unbranded knives, but also about things like this, Stedman, Max Ace, all those kinds of brands as well. Steel. So, what do you say? I'll show you what also pops the cork on that whole line of who's doing who. Roller bearings. Where have you seen these before? Real Steel? Hello. So, yes, so these are roller bearings. I mean, and the action on these suckers is really good. Actually, if you see really close here, you'll see the marks of the roller bearings here. So that there's a little bit of lube in there. That's why you're seeing those marks. And that lube is more like a white lithium grease, So it's a more firm. It's not a real light. So, I mean, I purged all that out there and hit it with like this. And this is a 5 weight, but I've dumped some 10 in there. So it's more like a 7 weight, 8 weight by now. In any case, so I'll put a little bit of that and put it back. You can see there's the detamp ball. And of course you wouldn't have an insert because this is steel liners. And you can see how they're skeletonized. And you can see the Beck spacer, which is G10 and almost full length for the knife. pocket clip. Unfortunately, for you left-handers, it's a right-hand tip-up only. But, you know, their pocket clips have always been pretty good, and that stays low. No hot spots. But, man, that action is really great. Like I said, got the lockout. Fit and finish is good. It's smooth, no sharp edges. Of course, this is a satin blade. So, I mean, it's not like it's tumbled. So you don't have, like, all the edginess knocked off of the top here. I mean, so you can feel a little bit. It's not bad, though. It's pretty good. And you can see, by seeing that reflective line there, you can tell they've knocked it down here. So that is knocked down. And you can see the little reflective. You can tell these insides of these liners have been touched as well. So, I mean, that gives it that extra level of nice feeling. And I think these, oh crap, let me see. Okay, so White Mountain knives. You want one? $49, right? And there may be something beyond there. I don't know, because it cut this off too. So it might be like $49.99. I don't know. Normally $64. So $49.99. So that's $50 minus the 10% LTK discount. So $45. And he does free shipping. So there you go. And there's your specs. Little over 8 inches overall. 3.5-inch blade. Pretty typical. 5.7 ounces. So it's not terribly light, and roller bearing, etc. And yeah, so what sayest thou? Yeah, 3.5-inch blade, so it'd be about the size of the Para 2. Now, to me, that's 3.5 all day long. If you set your ruler down here, as far as cutting edge, you're over 3.5 on a cutting edge here with that recurve and everything. So look at that. Yeah. So, I mean, I'd say 90, at least 90 millimeters, probably 92 really in practical terms, and maybe 95 depending on how you want to call that. Okay. So, a little over 8 1/8 overall. So it's really, really close. 20.5 centimeters. It's really close to the Paramilitary 2, which is laying around here somewhere. And great Spidey flick, out of 100 times, right? Out of 100 times. Come on, really? Okay, so right here, about the same. About the same. I don't want to knock you over, dude. Right there. Let's get the black box out of the way. We got enough black on the screen. We got black G10 scales. See? And flip them for the aspect ratio. And now the Para 2 is going to look a little bit bigger. And actually it is like 1/8 bigger. So, but that's all. That's all it is. Blade stock. Probably about 3.5 then millimeters. So 0.137. Yeah, 3.5 millimeters. And if we could be so bold as to get the caliper out here, this is probably pretty fat in the hand, actually. Yeah, 17.5 millimeters, almost 7/10 of an inch. So, yeah, there's a lot of, contour there in the G10, and there's a lot of texturing here. So grippy, oh yeah, grippy, and and it contours out. It's fat here, fits the hand great. Ergos are good. Palm swell is tremendous here, big boy. Front choil, that kind of thing. And like I said, pass through, very aggressive here, where you can disengage. Very aggressive. But just let it drop. Wow, that's amazing. Came apart, went back together fine, didn't screw up anything, no hardware failures, no screws that stripped or things. And you got to watch yourself when you do these things. Make sure you're making good contact in there. And I always use a big old handled, you know, driver so I can put a lot of torque. But I always push hard when I'm disengaging that to make sure that I'm not going to ride a little high and start stripping the, you know, the outer edges of the interiors of those screws. You want to push and, you know, and then turn and don't get too wild, but just take it out nice and easy. I mean, I hear from guys that strip screws and or break them off, and I'm going, wow, I haven't done that. The only strip screw I've had recently was on my Lion steel shuffler from Collector Knives, you know, that one with M390 steel on it. Ouch. I mean, I got some custom scales, and the little screw holding the scale on, one of them, no bueno. So that was disappointing. And that's an Italian made. In any case, so this is sturdy, and it's a chunk of change. Let me get the scale out, and then I'll let you go. Okay, check it out. 5.7 ounces, so it's not 6. It's not 6. That's the good news. 161 grams. So, you know, yeah, it's just a worker. It's just a worker. And you may or may not like the recurve blade. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Hold on, come here. Come here. Come here, come here, come here, come here. You gotta love that mirror edge they've done on it. I mean, I don't know what the hell, but I've been seeing that on the other SMR knives. And I don't know that I mean, you know, that's good. It's nice and sharp right out of the box. I don't know. You know, and you know, I don't mind this 14C28N steel. That's a good worker steel. Man, that's a good looking knife. Man, I wish that was in blue or forest green or drab or orange or something, you know, as well. Because that'd be fun. I mean, I know I can sharpen the recurve. Yeah, I can do that. I mean, I've got the rod where I can, you know, I've got the flat stones, but I got the adapter rod that's round. I could do this, but so not a big deal. But you know, there's just some people that don't like the recurve that much. It's very stylish, that's for sure, and it's effective with certain kinds of cutting situations. And you know, you got a little choil here, so that's good too. Really good. You could do some piercing, definitely some slicing, you know, and there's your contact patch right there. Got some belly right down there. Any case, what do you think? Interesting knife. Yes, it is. All right, I'm going to let you go. Hey, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you supporting my channel, hanging out with me and Mr. F, Mr. Flanagan. Because you know what we do around here. We love them knives, so stay sharp.